Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, and others. I am the Guardian, and welcome back, my friends, to another DC Movie Madness. I am apparently a glutton for punishment due to today's film. You see, normally I've been dealing with the animated world of DC Comics, but there are in fact several live-action attempts to cash in on some of our favorite DC characters. And this is one of them. This is Green Lantern. Oh, fuck! Damn all this shit, motherfucking! What the hell is going...
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Sorry. Who are you?
Seriously? You don't recognize me?
Tyler. Isota?
What?
Ooh, I know. Guy Gardner.
At least you didn't call me John Stewart.
Wait, you're John Stewart? Oh man, I'm such a fan.
You son of a bitch! How about now?
Clark Kent? Oh, Tristan! When'd you get here?
You dumb bastard.
What?
Rain told me I'm an anomaly. You're starting to watch Green Lantern First Flight without me!
First Flight?
Yeah. It was one of the best Green Lantern movies made, even though it has Hal Jordan instead of Kyle Rayner, the one true Green Lantern.
Well, gonna get a lot of hate from fanboys there.
But I'm here to watch it with you.
Well, that's great, because this movie is kind of a handful.
What?
Well, you know, the CGI is pretty dated, the acting is subpar, and the villain's motives are totally stupid.
Wait a minute. CGI, acting, bad and stupid motives. Dear Jal, it's an ambush! Randy, you lied to me!
Tough shit, Sherlock.
In case you couldn't tell by the joke we just did here, we're of course talking about the 2011 release of Green Lantern. To start off with, this is one of those rare instances where DC Comics and WB Studios were trying to make a live-action adaptation of a hero that wasn't Batman or Superman.
Other attempts that were non-Vertigo-related properties included Steel, Jonah Hex, Constantine, and a short teaser of what could have been a possible Lobo trailer.
Green Lantern here, being the most recent before the DC Cinematic Universe with Man of Steel at the helm, was the first instance of another Justice Leaguer on the big screen, this time being Hal Jordan. While this movie has been in development hell for years and years, until it finally came up with some progress and had Ryan Reynolds attached to the project, before the script was ever even finished. Now, with the summary of events, this is Green Lantern. Okay, why do I have this ring?
Wow, I guess something or someone out there is trying to keep you alive long enough for you to get through this movie.
But why is it white?
Because after this, you're gonna need resurrection, and I don't want to be fighting a Black Lantern.
But how bad could it be?
This is Green Lantern. The movie begins with a narration by Tomar Reed, voiced by Jeffrey Rush, explaining the history of the Green Lanterns involving the creation of the Corps and the turning of one of their own fellow Guardians.
Together, these 3,600 recruits formed the intergalactic peacekeepers known as the Green Lantern Corps.
And that's where they f***ed up already.
Huh?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a total of 7,200 lanterns in total, with 2 to every sector.
So, like, 2 cops per precinct.
Yeah, practically, because that's what the Green Lanterns practically are. Space cops. And Tomari, aren't you forgetting about the Guardians' little failed pet project before we came along? The Manhunters? But I'm guessing that's a story for another time.
Okay, Tristan, I know you're a fan of the Green Lanterns, but if you keep nitpicking like this, we're not gonna make it past the first 5 minutes.
Right, I know. But word of the warning, I'm gonna be doing this a lot.
No, don't worry, I'll just edit it out in post.
Wait, what?
So Tomar continues his narration, including how Abin Sur imprisoned the entity of fear, Parallax.
And another thing, why does Parallax have a face? He is literally a space bug!
So because of alien cliche here, Parallax is freed.
Ah! After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to kill Abin Sur!
So we get introduced to Abin Sur, as well as Sinestro, and...
That's a lot of CGI. And people give George Lucas crap for the prequels.
let it go. Parallax attacks Abin Sur and injures him, so he makes his way towards Earth. Like the story goes, minus Parallax.
Then we cut to our main character, Hal Jordan, getting laid.
But no time for Whoopi now. He's late to get berated by his boss for being late. That's how late he is.
There isn't anything you can do that they can't do better, faster, and without disappointing women everywhere.
Ouch, did you just take a face full of rage plasma? Because that was a major burn!
Okay, now let's get these pants off and fly some planes.
So Hal and Carol take on their duties to show how good these new robotic fighter jets are in the field.
Ferris test Sapphire, weapons are hot.
Meta reference. Her name up in the sky is Sapphire, and she becomes Star Sapphire in the comics.
I don't see her as Star Sapphire.
I can barely see her as Carol Ferris.
But of course, being the cocky flyboy he's portrayed to be, Hal manages to outsmart the high-tech flyers at the cost of his plane, which he also manages to fill in the dead father cliche in a flashback.
But, despite him giving the Watchers some good data on the Sabres, the advanced drones, he's fired regardless.
You're fired. It's too late,
You don't
Carl,
get off
I
that
quit.
easy. He's not fired, and you don't quit. You're grounded.
Then afterwards, he goes to his nephew's birthday party, which is so pointless he could have left it out of this movie entirely.
The only purpose of him going there at all was to be later picked up by the ring, which led him back to Abin Sur, who is currently dying.
Abin Sur sure hung on to life for Hal to get there, especially staying in the cold water for as long as he probably did. And you think that someone who watches the skies for a living would have seen him crash through the atmosphere. Or hell, even someone who's at the dock, since he appears to have been there for a few hours. Just saying.
Either way, the ring chooses Hal Jordan to become the new Green Lantern in Abin Sur's place. And speaking of which, the military or something along the lines of a secret organization are taking their time to get to a location where an alien spacecraft crash landed.
Star Labs, Cadmus, Argus, they're all taking their dear sweet time, aren't they?
Yep.
As for Abin Sur, he sure went through his last words quickly. He stayed in that water for quite a while, but once he was pulled out, he barely lasted a minute.
So, after receiving the responsibility of a lifetime, seeing the existence of extraterrestrial life before anyone else, what does Hal Jordan do? He buries the dead alien and calls his best friend. Standard protocol?
Makes about much sense as anything else in this movie.
But the ring chose me. He said it was a great honor. Responsibility.
That's right, Uncle Ben.
Maybe on their planet, responsibility just means asshole. Let's hope so.
Then we cut to the planet of Oa, where we get our first look at the Guardians, and good God, are they ugly.
The whole planet looks ugly. It doesn't get any better from here, folks. Okay, if we're going by the comics, the planet Oa was the technological beauty of a city, also named Mosaic. With this is no mosaic. This is the result of someone smashing a planet against a hard surface and rebuilding it with what's left of the city. What the hell happened to the Hall of the Guardians? It looks like none of these people have even ever heard of the concept of a roof.
In fact, in the Green Lantern Rise of the Manhunters video game, Oa actually looks better there than it does in the movie.
That's just disappointing. Dear Ion, this is painful. How far are we into this movie now? What? We're only half an hour in?
Oh man, this is gonna be painful, isn't it? So, what are the Blue Gnomes discussing? Oh right, Parallax. I forgot he was in this movie.
He's in this movie?
Apparently.
And this version of Sinestro is way too heroic and altruistic. Here he's portrayed by Mark Strong, but this isn't who Sinestro is at all. Even when he was a Green Lantern, Sinestro was a dick.
Shut your mouth, you stupid little troll!
Precisely.
Sinestro wants to take an army of the best Lanterns to fight Parallax head-on, despite the evidence that shows that won't work.
Sinestro is not stupid in the comics, nor in the animated movies. But here, this is one of the dumbest ideas he could have come up with. Using brute force against an entity of pure fear.
Guess how well that goes? Whoops.
Next, we cut to Hector Hammond being collected by Amanda Waller to experiment on the dead Abin Sur.
Really? You go to a high school science teacher to inspect and dissect an alien life form?
Maybe they were short on scientists who were actually skilled in alien autopsies.
And maybe ones that didn't get infected by the yellow sludge that was sitting in Abin Sur's body for as long as it was.
How long was that sitting there? And where exactly did Parallax go after that attack?
It doesn't really matter since we cut right back to Hal trying to figure out the Green Lantern's oath.
I pledge allegiance to a lantern that I got from a dying purple alien.
Okay, you'd think that if Abensur wanted him to carry the torch as the Green Lantern of his sector, he'd at least tell him the oath with his last breath, or some instructions.
But apparently the ring works on Power Rangers logic, since he touches the battery once, and he's filled with the knowledge of everything that has to do with being a Green Lantern.
How does that even work exactly? And I'm asking this as an actual Green Lantern.
I thought you were a part of the Indigo tribe.
I'm, being punished right now.
Right now, we have to get back to the romantic comedy portion of this movie, where Hal and Carol are dancing to try and fix their relationship.
Skipping it!
Then we cut to outside, where the guys Hal worked with got fired and want to take it out on his ass.
Hey, phrasing!
Then we see one of the first things Hal uses the ring to make. A classic fist for punching.
Is that necessarily a bad thing, though?
Nah, it's an old classic, definitely, but...
It still looks bad.
yeah.
Then the ring takes him all the way to Oa. Now here's my question. Why? Why did the ring wait this long to take Hal all the way to Oa? Especially since it was pretty much activated when he said the oath with the lantern battery a whole scene ago. But instead, we wait another scene and get 2 flavors of cliched bullshit and more god-awful CGI.
Don't forget the subs-cliches about getting his ass beaten in a dark alleyway behind a bar at night.
And while Hal's going to Oa, Hector is suffering from night terrors.
Poor soul still remembering his time filming this movie. Pray for him.
So Hal arrives on Oa and we see the horribly CG-rendered Green Lantern uniform.
Well, that's retarded. Like Color Kid being an actual superhero. The costume doesn't need to be that complicated. That's like if Batman suit needed to be magically grafted on by some giant space bat god. It doesn't need to be this intricate. And the way it looks with his eyes opening, at least this would have been forgivable in the 90s because 90s graphics and superhero movies don't mix. I mean, right? Just make a practical costume!
Hal finally meets Tomar-Re, who introduces the stuff regarding Oa and what it means to be a Green Lantern, including flight.
We're going to fly now.
And Oa looks so CG'd it's embarrassing. I mean, I get why most of Oa would be CGI, but he could at least put some effort into his appearance. Now we see Tomari and Hal fly into the capital of Oa, where he joined the rest of the Corps.
Oh my god, the CGI here makes me want to puke. I mean, wow. They didn't put any effort into these guys at all.
Who the hell designed these characters? I recognize 3 or 4 of them, but barely. In just a scene alone. That's not how they look at all the comics.
Sinestro has called everyone to recruit Lanterns brave enough to venture with him to take out Parallax.
That is so stupid.
After that little meeting, Tomar starts training Hal how to use the ring and master his will, which introduces us to Kilowog, one of the most beloved characters in the Green Lantern mythos.
Here he's played, voiced, by Michael Clark Duncan before his untimely passing. Sad thing is, this was one of his last, if not the final role he ever did.
That is sad. But it is somewhat worth it to hear Michael Clark Duncan say the word poozer.
Oh, hells yeah!
Never let your guard down, Poozer.
After getting his ass kicked by Kilowog,
Thanks, gorgeous.
Sinestro steps in to take over his training.
Until Sinestro makes Jordan piss his pants and quit the Corps. Wow, Hal, from hero to zero that quick? You think that he will quit after Kilowog was pummeling him around, but no. It was Sinestro being a meanie that made him quit.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but lantern constructs hurt.
Back with Hector in his classroom, he starts to realize that telepathic abilities are starting to manifest, which is pretty damn stupid given his original origin story.
Meanwhile, the Guardians reveal that one of their own became absorbed by the power of fear and became Parallax.
Which isn't what Parallax is in the comics.
And Sinestro tries to convince the Guardians to help him build a ring of fear to try and better combat Parallax.
What?! Okay, back to the comics. The emotional spectrum was a force that existed before early life. No Guardian got infected by the yellow light, and there sure as hell was no Guardian named Parallax. To add insult to injury, apparently, the Guardians already had the yellow light closed off in their chamber hidden underneath Oa. And as for Sinestro, we all know he was dismissed from the Corps in the comic, and he forged the yellow ring to combat the Lanterns. He never forced it to help the Corps or the Guardians. It was a weapon for him to impose his will onto others, not to help.
And regarding the use of this ring to fight Parallax, I have a feeling that would be less of a weapon and more of a conduit to help fuel Parallax's power, and possibly give him more of a physical form. And as per the lore that I'm familiar with, these rings are also used as a vacuum to absorb fear and empower the users even more. This is easily one of the dumbest ideas that Sinestro could have come up with in this situation. And on top of that, Sinestro himself is very unfocused in this movie. He starts out heroic and bold in front of the Guardians and his fellow Lanterns, but when he meets Hal, he's an asshole and shows more of his colors that we're familiar with in the comics and the animated films. Now here, he's showing a very lackluster intelligence with this plan to use fear as a weapon.
Joe, this movie is just horrible. How long do we have left for this?
We only got 50 more minutes, man.
We can do this, buddy. We can do this.
Jordan and Hector happen to show up at the same party thrown by Carol's father.
Excuse me, I need a drink.
That wasn't him in character. I think that was just Peter Skarsgård wanting to drown his sorrows after reading the rest of the script.
And after the Senator shows more affection toward Hal and Carol than him, Hector destroys the rotor of his father's helicopter, which triggers the first appearance of the Green Lantern to the public.
Where he uses the Hot Wheels playset to save the day and promote the toys.
You know, I actually think that this portion is just Peter Skarsgård's mental breakdown, and they just decided to film around it with the CG.
Yeah, that's definitely his breaking point.
And after his appearance on the news, Hal's best friend demands to see how his powers work.
Ring. Finger.
Hey! It's how fans of the character feel about this movie. See?
What is this? Why is your skin green? Why are you glowing? What the hell is with that mask?
Was that Blake Lively acting as Carol Ferris asked that question? Or just Blake Lively herself asking the audience or the studio producers?
Later, Waller goes to collect Hector after realizing he was infected by the yellow, which just gives us another mental breakdown by Peter Skarsgård.
I've never felt better in my life.
I still can't tell if this is Hector or Peter. Poor guy.
But lo and behold, Green Lantern to the rescue. Yay.
How is that producing red flames?
Shouldn't that be green just like everything else he makes? Regardless, they come to a stalemate where Hector finds out that Hal is Green Lantern, as well as mind rapes him through his memories.
After realizing that Parallax is heading for Earth, Hal shares his crucial information with his friends. What? Why didn't he go straight to Oa? I mean, yes, he quit, but still. Also, this just crossed my mind. If he quit the Corps, how was he able to keep his ring?
Plot relevance? Hal does eventually go to Oa and try to get the Corps to help, but they refuse because they think that Earth is worth sacrificing to save the Corps. Even though several Lanterns lost their lives trying to stop Parallax, but what's a few more, right?
Despite Hal's powerful speech about how humanity is worth the effort, he's still on his own, so he heads back to Earth.
Hal decides to finish off Hector since he's somehow the beacon that's calling Parallax to Earth, and we get the last scene with him.
Let her go. Then you can have it.
Wow, good call, Hal. He gave the bad guy an upgrade. Now he can actually walk.
But wait, it was all a trap since Hal still has control over the ring's power.
I lied.
I lied too.
As much as I hate everything else in this movie, that was actually badass.
Yeah.
That's one positive I'll give this movie, compared to the over 9,000 negatives attached to it.
Is it okay if I move this stuff out of the way?
Go right ahead. Okay, that's 2 points. Matter of fact, let's see that again.
Let me see it. See it again. Do it again. His pain is amusing to us.
It's the only music thing in this movie.
Fuck you, asshole.
He manages to free Carol, and Parallax arrives on Earth and eats Hector. Wow, that character really was pointless, wasn't he?
Oh my, yes.
So Hal takes on Parallax, and this is another dumb choice by one of the characters.
Yes, because Hal launches a couple gasoline trucks at Parallax and shoots him right in his face. Ignoring that the entire city is screaming bloody murder, that stunt would probably scare more people and give Parallax even more power.
Yeah, it would have been much simpler and safer for Hal to shoot Parallax in the face, shake his ass at him, and lead him out into space.
Talk to him? Yeah. But have you noticed this? The only ones making dumb decisions in this movie are the Lanterns themselves.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, but we do need this obligatory line for the trailer.
brightest day. Blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Those who worship evil's might, beware my power. Green Lantern's light.
After that, Hal manages to lead Parallax out into space, where he remembers Kilowog's training with the sun's gravitational pull.
The bigger you are, the faster you burn.
Okay, was that actually necessary, or was he just showing off?
Showing off.
Parallax burns up in the sun, and Sinestro saves Hal before he gets burned to a crisp as well.
Where the hell were you color black barber milks? We were just all watching the whole battle, eating some damn popcorn and enjoying the show when one of your fellow Lanterns was in serious shit?
The Corps you're from aren't total dickheads, are they?
And they're just as ineffective, but they actually get the job done.
Unlike these guys. So Hal is treated like a hero after defeating Parallax on Oa, and most importantly, he fixes his relationship with Carol.
Yeah, she was completely pointless in this movie.
That's really cool.
No, it's really not.
And Hal flies through the skies and through space, serving as the forgotten member of the not Justice League, Green Lantern.
That was a really pointless MacGuffin, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was adorable how they thought this was going to warrant a sequel.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and stick this movie right next to Superman Returns, because this movie sucks!
Everything about this movie was a row awful mess from beginning to end. Not only could this movie not stick to the mythos on which it was culled from, but it had a pointless secondary story dealing with the doomed to failure relationship between Hal and Carol. We couldn't even figure out where to take this movie's direction story-wise. The graphics in this flick were just eye-gouging and horrible, especially for 2011 standards. It's a Scooby-Doo effect all over again. Scenes that needed CGI were decent and used properly, but everything else could just call for practical effects rather than messy animation, especially when it came to the suits, which could have been easily made by the costuming department. I could speak about how the characters were flat, forgettable, and some even unnecessary, or how personalities of the characters, such as Sinestro, Hal, and Amanda, weren't even canonical or kept any continuity in the movie as they went on. But I felt that was painfully obvious.
The characters aren't portrayed how they were in the comics or in any other lore that I've seen. Tristan pointed out several plot holes and touches that were meant to be, I guess, meta-references to the audience, but turned out to be painful eyesores to people like him. Ryan Reynolds does what he can in this role, but he was clearly born to play Deadpool instead. They even mention how much he regretted the role of Green Lantern in that movie.
And please don't make the super suit green. Or animated.
It's even more depressing that Greg Berlanti was connected to this project, since he later went on to create the Arrowverse, but there is nothing redeemable in this film. In fact, some of the scenes could have been left out entirely and made it a semi-tolerable film. But instead, this was nothing more than a cash grab before the eventual reboot of their universe, and it shows in every scene.
So that was Green Lantern 2011, and by Ion, that movie was horrible. But there was one thing I did notice while watching the entire thing.
And what might that be?
The overuse and oversaturation of the color orange.
Orange?
In the mythos, the orange light, was the color of avarice held by Lord Fleas. And throughout this whole movie, the Green Lantern, mind you, where green was supposed to be the primary color, there is an overuse of the color orange, even in scenes where it didn't even need it. It just seemed like it was just thrown in there for GP.
Now that you mention it, there was a lot of orange in this movie, wasn't there? I guess the avarice was strong with this one.
That's the thing! Avarice! You said it yourself, this movie was nothing but a horrible cash grab, and the whole thing was written stupidly and made no sense whatsoever. Who do we know that deals with greed, complete avarice, and sheer stupidity of anything?
Wait a minute. But... wait, you don't mean... That's right, it's me, that guy with the mustache.
You? But why?
Well, you see...
Wait a minute. You stole the Guardian's orange ring of avarice?
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm a Wait, where'd your frame go? Hang on, Tristan, I gotta piss. I'll leave him to you.
What? Why now? Can't you hold it a little longer?
Nope, been holding in for the entire review. Now you're all alone. Now I'm gonna take them rings of yours.
Like hell you will.
What? You're only supposed to have one ring, damn it!
I'm being punished right now.
Punished? Oh man, I'm so confused right now.
Doesn't matter. Now hand over that ring, or I'll bust you down my 3 colors.
What, 3? You only got 2 rings, boy.
Indigo rings can absorb other lights from the spectrum and use it as its own.
What? Well, that doesn't seem fair at all.
Too bad. Now hand it over.
Not happening, punk. I'm gonna take you down. Money, 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 money!
Tolora-san, Nakamura, no Tromo Font, Netlock to let the Curlo Abin, sir, to let not Fumaru, sir.
Stop speaking gibberish, you fuck nugget!
The brightest day, the blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. The those who worship evil's might, who are my power, Green Lantern's light!
Ow, sickness!
Mine!
Oh shit! Oh. You damned... No!
Give me that ring!
Hey!
Give me that ring!
Hey! Look, it's Olivia Olsen giving you the look!
Where?
Look, she's right over there!
Where? Ah! Damn it!
Hey, sorry it took so long, man. It's just that, he's gone, isn't he?
What do you think?
Well, I think you fucked up.
What?
You had one job, Tristan, and you done fucked up.
Cockshot!